Cause he said it to me and Murder, and I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, this nigga wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5. My whole thing is, maybe the relationship would be good as if you saved some money for your pops when he came home, but I understand how it is to be a young black man with money, and you don't make the right decisions.
I've seen a lot of posts about the Big Meech concert getting canceled. What I'm not seeing is anybody blaming Rick Ross for this. Nobody is saying, yo, Rick Ross is your fault.
Big Meech thought he had finally got his act together. He was all set to make a legendary return, but instead, he walked right into a mess, and Rick Ross might just be the one to blame for it. Here's the thing, Rick Ross played it like he had Meech's back, tossing around cash and talking up a big return. But when the time came, that so-called support disappeared, leaving Meech stuck. His big comeback concert got canceled, and that $1 million deal with 50 gone. And Rick Ross, he's back to doing his own thing.
No, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand, you gotta stop making business personal.
It's clear Meech's situation just keeps getting worse. Now, fans are asking, did Rick Ross set him up to fall? And can Meech make a comeback from all this? Let's dive into it and break it all down.
I said Rick Ross is not being a friend to Meech. He knew what that was going to bring.
That's selfish.
Big Meech finally made his way out of prison, probably thinking he'd slide back into the game like nothing had changed. But reality hit hard. The streets weren't the same, and he was about to find that out the tough way. One of his first big moves, linking up with Rick Ross, who didn't waste any time throwing cash in his face. And if you're asking yourself why someone like Meech, who once ran a multi-million-dollar empire and had that BMF deal with 50 Cent, would even pay attention to pocket change? Well, turns out he blew through all that money.
Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars, so he does not understand where the money went, how Little Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail. Now we know Rick Ross has a song where he's like, I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. And that's the Big Meech that gets portrayed by Little Meech on the TV show BMF Power, produced by 50 Cent. And it's ironic, right? I mean, it'd be kind of easy to see why the real Big Meech would like that song by Ross. But if 50 Cent gives your family, you know, $5 million in cash, whether it's through acting, I think he was paying for acting lessons for Lil Meech, you gotta have some appreciation. And you know, before more details unfolded, like $5 million, because people were like, oh, 50 Cent doesn't pay people, he's always suing people. Look how he paid Ghost from Power less than Mary J. Blige on Power Book. But if Lil Meech got $5 million and he's nobody except the son of somebody famous, then he definitely could have treaded carefully with this Rick Ross thing. I don't think Rick Ross even gave him $1 million for whatever they did. It was a picture, it was an event. I doubt it was $1 million. I doubt it was $500,000. I doubt it was $200,000. I think it was $100,000 or less, whatever Big Meech did for Ross, and he sold his relationship with 50 for a $100,000 picture, basically.
Trying to get a fresh start, Meech was ready to turn his back on 50 for a shot with Rick Ross. Matter of fact, Big Meech was so thirsty for cash, he was even waiting on Lil Meech to pull up with stacks of money. But here's the thing, Lil Meech was in the exact same spot as his pops.
When we go to your crib, and me and Murder sitting in the backyard, and you like, yo, little baby ain't give me no money. He came in the Ferrari truck, he had the Ferrari truck, he had 4 pockets full. I'm looking at this like, yo, this tripping. Like, little baby he's not obligated to give you nothing. I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something. Because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I had in mind. Because he said it to me and Murder, and I'm sitting there analyzing it like, damn, this nigga wanted some bread, or maybe he spent all the bread because he made a couple of million with 5. My whole thing is, maybe the relationship would be good as if you saved some money for your pops when he came home, but I understand how it is to be a young black man with money, and you don't make the right decisions.
With money running low, things weren't looking too good for the Meech household, but Rick Ross saw that struggle as an opportunity for himself. He figured he could help Meech get back on his feet. In fact, when 50 Cent was coming at Big Meech hard, Rick Ross was all about that tough talk, acting like he was ready to step in and make moves.
Your car, now where your yacht at? Where your plane at? Where you fish at? Life can sometimes be like real estate, baby. You might have to knock everything down, build it back up, and get it to the value you need it to be. Took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe. Put your back against the wall and just slide down.
Yeah, like business is business. A part of me understands a part of that. I do understand that.
Well, they always say there's no permanent friends and enemies in business, just permanent interests.
Yeah, because this is the thing. I understand that 50 got, the ongoing beef with the people and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? But it seems like their transaction is just business.
But none of that panned out. Here's the deal. Part 1 of the Big Meech comeback plan was all about getting him some serious cash. And Ross thought the quickest way to do that was by setting up a benefit concert for him. With XO touring and AG touring backing it, the event was supposed to bring in a big lineup of artists to welcome Meech back. And man, Rick Ross pulled out all the stops to promote that concert.
February 13th, the Big Meech Home benefit concert. It's gonna be iconic. Too many names to list, but let me salute some of the legends. Lil Baby, Bossman D-Lo, 21 Savage, Sexy Red, Ricky Rose. Now,
but Big Meech was about to face one of the biggest disappointments of his life. Just hours before the concert, the Amarant Bank Arena hit him with this announcement. Due to unforeseen circumstances, tonight's show has been canceled. Refunds will be made at the point of purchase. Just like that, Big Meech's concert got canceled. Most people assumed 50 Cent had a hand in it, especially with rumors flying that he was behind getting both Big Meech and Rick Ross blackballed from the industry. Whack 100 was fully convinced that's exactly what went down.
I don't remember when they asked me, Wack, what you think about the concert? I said, I think it's too early for dude to even be playing with anything. You need to just kick back. I said it's too early. You don't need to be doing nothing. You eliminate that, ain't none of it on in his life right now. It's too early. I said it. When they said, yo, I said, yeah, too early. For him to be doing any of that, he need to just lay back, focus on TV, get his business right with 50. He don't need to be for none of that shit. I said, but I understand why he doing it, because he's infatuated with that rap. He always wanted to do it. He was never successful at doing it. If you eliminate him doing this, there's no him standing with Rick Ross. There's no 50 tripping. None of it. There's no exposing coming. None of this happened.
Meanwhile, 50 wasn't giving Meech any space to breathe. He posted a picture of the news about the cancellation and the caption, "I had nothing to do with this. Please stop calling my phone. I sincerely hope you have a nice day today. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm stronger than you think I am." He also shared a video from a user named Zip with the Drip on his IG, where they talked about Lil Baby and others backing out of the gig.
I'm hearing already some people is pulling out of that concert. Yeah, on February 13th, that Big Meech was having. You heard? I know Little Baby ain't performing, right? Yeah, he said he ain't f***ing with Gunna no more because Gunna a rat. I know he ain't performing that Big Meech. Yeah, 50 on the internet calling this a rat. Talking about Tammy Cowan. This shit done grew some legs. Yeah, from when we was on the internet a few months ago talking about, yo, how Cuffy get indicted, how the Migo get indicted, and Meech ain't get indicted, blah, blah, blah. Shit then grew some legs since then. Yeah, because if Tammy then told 50 and... Yo, 50, let me narrate this shit, B. Let me narrate this. Let's get to that. Yeah, New York, nigga, let's get to that. Yeah, who's going to this concert? I said I want to... Who's going to this concert still? Yeah. What's really going on out here? Let's get to that.
Meanwhile, 50 wrote this in the caption. The funny stuff is, they were saying Lil Baby pulled up on them in a Ferrari truck pockets full of money and didn't give them anything. Lil Meech was 5 when you got indicted. WTF, he owes you. Tammy Cowan coming soon. And just like that, Big Meech lost the one shot that could have put him back in the game. Now, everyone's probably wondering how he's handling it and what he's got planned next. But the real question people should be asking is, what's Rick Ross got planned for Big Meech? Because he talked a big game about taking Meech under his wing and getting him back on top. Well, surprise, Rick Ross has tapped out. He's doing nothing and leaving Meech to figure it out on his own. When the concert got canceled, Rick Ross posted one video talking about the situation for like 5 seconds before quickly moving on to promote his own events. It looked like he wasn't even fazed.
Boss Ricky Rose just got word. Meech concert not happening tonight, but 3:05 is going down at the office. Meet us there. Bam!
Even now, Rick Ross too wrapped up in promoting his own stuff to care about what Big Meech is going through.
Already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Honestly, fans thought that was pretty disrespectful, especially since he's the one who started this whole mess. If Rick Ross hadn't stepped in and messed up Meech's relationship with 50, Meech wouldn't have needed that concert in the first place. He could have just been living off the millions 50 was putting on his plate.
Seeing a lot of posts about the Big Meech concert getting canceled. What I'm not seeing is anybody blaming Rick Ross for it. Nobody is saying, yo, Rick Ross, it's your fault. So I'ma do it. Yo, Rick Ross, this is your fault. You the reason why Big Meech is going through this shit right now, you heard? Because when we was on the internet talking about the Cuffy case and all that, nobody even really gave a f. But now 50 talking about that, and everybody listening. Everybody listening, you heard? So, I just want to say, or I want to ask you, did you think that shit was a good idea in hindsight? Do you think it was a good idea to be in the video with me talking about Sexy Red?
Sexy Red.
Yeah, you think that was a good idea? Also, how you let that get the show canceled in Florida, B? That's kind of diabolical, you heard? 50, that's some bull. How you let that get the show canceled in Florida? Let's get to that.
And honestly, Meech wasn't exactly blindsided. Everyone on the internet could see that Rick Ross wasn't really being a friend to him, so it's hard to feel too sorry for him. In fact, Whack 100 called it out too.
I said Rick Ross is not being a friend to Meech. He knew what that was going to bring.
That's selfish.
That was a selfish act.
That was selfish. He was trying to show he could control Big Meech to 50. In turn, Big Meech.
Now, what you doing? What you doing now? Now the after party y'all had at the office, that's canceled. 50 telling everybody go to Poofy Trap. Office didn't cancel. Looking crazy, so...
Draw.
That Meech is sitting back saying, hey, I ain't even asked you to call. I didn't even realize it. Now I'm in there, and I didn't. My TV movie gonna get exposed in reputation, and then son off too. Crazy.
Horrible move, man. I don't know how you come back from this.
And no, Big Meech can't just crawl back to 50 right now, because 50 made it crystal clear he has no plans to make a season 4 of the BMF series. In a now deleted Instagram post, the rapper shared some text messages from Lil Meech, where he confronted 50 about the recent attacks on his father. They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you are managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first, when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you're mad at me when I would take my shirt off my back for you? I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only shown you love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on you. Lil Meech also spoke on Big Meech's connection with Ross, saying it was all about the money. Screw Rick Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life, but 50 couldn't care less. Here's what he had to say in response to Lil Meech's text. What next season, Lil Ninja? Honestly, 50's the last person Lil Meech should be expecting sympathy from. That man even joked about Meech's financial situation. He shared a GoFundMe page on Instagram along with the caption, "Help Big Screech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb." That's one of P's cribs. Shout out to Quality Control. Safe to say, Big Meech is really drowning right now. Rick Ross offered a little hope though. He posted this on his IG stories. I want to do a real BMF movie, theaters only. Which director? Anthony Fuqua or Quentin Tarantino? And it seemed like he was serious about it, since he brought...
Yeah, so look, I do want to do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film.
But fans aren't feeling too hopeful for the dude who couldn't even pull off a concert. And the worst part? Big Meech isn't the only one who got played. He messed over his entire family in the process too. He also gave Big Meech's whole family executive producer credits, so the entire crew was getting paid off the BMF show. Given all that, some folks aren't too surprised Meech ended up in this mess. If you've watched the BMF series, you know Big Meech was never the most loyal person. He worked with whoever could get him money, even if it meant teaming up with people who were against against his own. What Meech is really after is just getting that paper, but 50 Cent? He values the loyalty that BMF has always preached. That's where the real difference lies between Big Meech and 50. 50 is loyal to his people, while Meech is loyal to the organization, but still, Meech will never admit he's the one to blame for all this. He's putting the blame on Rick Ross because even if Meech didn't see how things would unfold, Rick Ross sure did.
Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing and what that would lead to. And if he was a real friend to Meech, unless he was looking to get 50 out the way, he would have dealt with Meech in the shadows, because he knows me and this dude who is gonna react if he sees me dealing with this dude that he has business with. And there was a lot of business left to be done, right? Rick Ross, bro, could have done whatever he was gonna do in the shadows if he really honored and respected me.
But what do you think? Will Big Meech be able to bounce back from all this? And is he going to make Rose pay for putting him out on the streets? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and make sure to check out this next video.